Eddie Hearn, fresh off a plane from overseas. Ed, have you been mugged? There's a rumour going around in the world of boxing. You were caught up in Miami.
Yeah, I fought off 4 armed attackers. There was 7 armed attackers. No, unfortunately not. This fake Benson account has got everybody just... The amount of people that have forwarded me the Benson account, like every day, it's like, how long is it going to take you to know that Benson no longer has an account? But I love the story. I actually found a few people concerned about me, which was quite nice, you know. Good for their soul. But no, I was not mugged in Miami. I went from Miami to San Francisco to Brisbane and got to the Gold Coast just now, or yesterday, and we're here, mate, for the big fight. So,
a lot of promoters in the world of boxing, you and your team, along with Tasman Fighters down here, are kicking off 2025 with a big fight. One that we probably in Australian boxing, you know, couldn't dream of and couldn't ask for more. Jai Opetaia versus David Nykia. Talk about how this happened and what this means to the sport down here.
Total fluke, and sometimes you've got to take the good luck when it comes, and you know, you've got to give respect to David Nykia, because we had the Sin Cara fight, decent fight, not really a mega fight. It was a mandatory challenger. He pulled out 3 weeks ago. You go down the list, obviously myself, Mick, we all said there's no way David Nykia is going to fight Jai Opetaia. That's a massive fight for 12 months' time when he's ready. And he went, no, I'm ready now. I can beat him. And when Mick told me, I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's just a massive, massive fight for Australian boxing. And a huge way to kick off 2025. Obviously, this event supported by His Excellency, Riyadh Season, and you know, Mick and Spencer Brown, everybody involved. We've got so many great fighters here. I say it to you all the time. And you know, we want to try and be active here. We know that we've got January the 8th, and we'll be back in March with Cambosis, which hopefully will be announced soon. We want to keep that momentum going. And yes, you'll see a lot of Australian fighters fighting internationally. But what about some big shows here in Australia? And that's our plan.
And you want to talk about some stuff overseas? Canelo versus Crawford negotiations, so-called behind the scenes. I want to talk about, 1, is Crawford ready for that fight? 2, how do you see that fight playing out? And 3, is this a reality?
I've got to be honest, I'd be very surprised if that fight happens. I think His Excellency has been pushing that fight. It didn't seem like it was something that Canelo was really up for, to be honest. And like, when I've spoken to Canelo before about that fight, I think he's kind of feeling when I beat Crawford, everyone's going to say I've beaten a 154 pounder. Like, and he also, I think at his age as well, I don't think he wants to be fighting guys that are just moving all the time, and you know, he wants people to come to fight. And Crawford can't really come to fight like that in that fight because he's at a massive, massive size disadvantage, and he can't be standing in front of him. I don't think that fight will happen. But then when you think about it, like what are the options for Canelo Alvarez?
Benavidez.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen either. You know, he's put his flag in the sand, hasn't he? 150 million. I know he takes less, but I just don't see that. He's now up at 175, Benavidez. I don't see him coming back to 68. Got a great fight against Morrell, by the way. It's a serious fight. Bivol. You know, if Bivol beats Beterbiev on February 22nd, Canelo could fight Bivol for the undisputed light heavyweight world championship. There's a fight. Charlo. And people talk about William Skull. Back for the undisputed. But Canelo will fight anyone. But I don't see a lot of options for him right now. So maybe the Crawford fight is in play. If it happens, as good as Terence Crawford is, I just think he's too big for him.
You just came back from Saudi before. You had your short break, your 7-day break. You went offline. Usyk versus Fury. As an Australian, as a Commonwealth person, I'm pumped in 2025 if you and Frank can make Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
I say Joshua versus Fury in the sense that Fury's come off 2 losses.
Yeah, but look, I think it doesn't. We're so long in the tooth now, and the relationship's so good. It doesn't really matter about those things. It's the biggest fight in boxing. People say, no, it's not. So, tell me a bigger one. Commercially, tell me a bigger fight in boxing than AJ against Fury. It doesn't exist. And both those guys have been there, they've done it all for the division. Let them fight each other now. It's time. And yes, we would have liked to seen it 2 years ago or whatever, but it didn't happen, did it? But now it can. So we will have to see.
Who wins it?
always, I'm never going to bet against AJ. I believe now if he goes in there confident, I think there's a few dents to the Tyson Fury armoury. I think he can stop it. But this Fury, people don't talk about Fury's. He's past it. He's this. He's that. No, he just fought Alexander Usyk. That was all, and he couldn't beat him like many others. Well, nobody could. So it's a great fight.